All right. What's up, everybody? Team training, February 27th. This is not the third week of the month, in case you haven't figured it out. Last week, a bunch of us were at Awaken 2020 in Phoenix, Arizona, and that's really what we're going to be sharing tonight. And it's not going to be a whole lot of upfront stuff. We're just going to get right into it. But one thing I did want to say is there is the Miami event. Does anybody remember what that's called? Because I all of a sudden don't. But I know it's part of the ILAT. Like if you did not make the ILAT trip, they are opening up before the ILAT trip to go to Miami, and you're going to kind of get some of the same training that the people on the ILAT trip are going. So I'm going to go. I know there's a couple other coaches on here that are going. Kate's going. And that's a qualifying event for anyone. And so maybe if you have even a new coach, maybe throw it out to them. So look into that, see if that's something you want to go. If you didn't qualify for Awaken or didn't make it to Awaken, that would be another great event. And of course, July, we have conference, and that's just non-negotiable for anybody that wants to grow. Okay, so there you go. There's my plug for that stuff. So Awaken 2020 was last weekend. The Valentine organization put that on, and I got to say, it was incredible. It was probably one of the best, probably the best event I think I've been to. And as far as it's worked a lot of the mindset. We know so much about the skill sets because they train on that every week. There's all kinds of videos. There's all kinds of things you can look in back office and Optavita training videos. You can do all that kind of stuff. But if we can't get this right, we're never going to move forward. You're always going to be in a battle with your internal self. So this weekend was really diving deep into that. And I mean, maybe some people cried. Maybe I cried. Maybe we all came out a little awakened. Everybody got woke this weekend that was there. So we're going to have some people come on and share some of their takeaways from the weekend. So Amma, you are on my list first. So come on with your awesome glasses. I'll unmute you. All right, okay. Now you're good.
Hi guys, how are you? So I was asked to, to express and share what I went through. But I think one of the first things was that I went there having made a commitment to myself and, be on program. And that was the best thing I could have done because it put me in first of all, the right mindset to do that. And then while we were there, I can't even explain how fabulous this event was. I mean, it truly was life-changing for me. Every day, it was only a day and a half, but it felt like a week worth of information that we were given. What I got from that was, again, like Jason said, it was our mindset. We really went and delved in depth on what's going on with our mind, what our story is, what we want from our lives, and how can we dream about it. We were given the tools to start working on. We were, self-care assessment, a notebook that Megan wrote. That's a journal that will help us really start the journaling process of our dreams. So there's one aspect, which is our life book, which is our health and the mindset that comes with that. And then there's a mindset of our coaching. And that aspect I hadn't really paid attention to. I've been so busy on my health and trying to get it together that way. This really brought it all together for me in a way that I never thought I would have been able to. So I'm so excited about where I am now and what I want for myself and the belief that I can get there, whatever that looks like. I love Charlie Rocket, even though I could never remember his name, but anyway, he was fabulous because he truly showed us what mindset is about. It's easy. If we tell ourselves it's easy, it's going to be easy. If you tell yourself to have fun, we're going to have fun. I have now brought back the fun and the joy to coaching and my journey that I had lost for a while. In fact, I didn't even know I had lost it until I came to this event. So that was the biggest thing for me, is finding my joy. And I'm just thrilled. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Anyway, that's it. That's my thing.
I love it. Thank you. And that I'm going to share kind of my takeaway at the end, but it
Mhm.
really kind of dives into that joy and finding the joy in it too, because sometimes when somebody doesn't do what you think they're going to do, you just kind of feel
Mhm.
beat down. And what do? We always like internalize it and be like, oh, what did I do? Oh, what did I do wrong? And it just puts us in this place lacking joy, of course, instead of going out and creating. And that's where we find our joy. We find it from creating
Mhm.
those
Mhm.
conversations and creating that next client for ourselves. So I love that focus shift, Ama, and keep rocking
I'm
your journey,
excited.
because everything's going to flow from there.
Uh,
All right. Who is next on my list? Okay. Shelly, where you at?
I'm right here. So I think what spoke to me the most is that the complete transparency that we got from even the highest level leaders in our organization, that we are all screwed up. If this comes out of Confessions of a Leader, we're all screwed up, but we're contending every day for what it is that we want. So I have felt for a lot of years, I'm moving forward a little bit more the last couple of years, but I felt for a lot of years that I was stuck in what they called this liminal space. And I had to look it up. So I'm like this researcher. So um, the liminal space is a space where you're on the verge of something new. You're in between what was and what will be. And you're just kind of waiting, not knowing what the outcome is going to be. And so many of us get so scared when we get into that liminal space, because we don't know what's next. And we have these ideas in our head about the direction that we think that we are supposed to go, or the speed at which we're going to get there. But really reality kind of gives us a smackdown sometimes. And, we kind of find out who's in control of our destiny, which is the person that you look at in the mirror every day. Um, but the liminal space is a place that can really help you or make you feel kind of stuck. So I really liked, when I was researching it, when it was talking about some of the advantages, because in that liminal space, like when we started programming, for instance, that's that excitement, that new journey is about to begin. And, we're so full of excitement, all these new things can happen. But at the same time, then our old mindset kind of creeps in, and, all the what ifs start to creep in. But if we just keep moving forward and we just keep understanding that, we have to put in the work, we have to put in the effort, we're going to be judged by people, but we just got to keep moving forward. It's crazy, when you hear people that, have been doing this so much longer than us, and, you think, oh gosh, they had it easy for whatever reason there is out there, that we make up these stories in our heads. But we truly are all in that space where we have the potential to kick that field goal and, reach our dreams, or truly to just pull ourselves out of the game and sit on the bench. And that's really up to us, which way we want to go. So that's what really spoke to me over the course of the weekend, is that I'm the one in control of my destiny. I'm the one that's kind of in that limbo, that liminal space right now. And it's up to me which part of that I want to take and move forward, if I want to use it for growth, or if I want to use it to put myself back on that bench.
I love it, Shelly. And no one can determine your future except for you. There's not going to be one person that quits. There's not going to be one person that comes in. Like, that's all what you do moving forward. And for those people that quit, well, they're never going to make it. But the people that keep plugging in, they're going to get there. So I love that. Just always staying in the game. Like, right? You can't get lucky if you're not in the game. It's not possible. If you're not playing, you are not going to get lucky, which is just a word for people got no's and no's and no's until they got that yes. Right? Perfect. I love it. Oh, I just muted myself. Jamie, you are up next. You got it.
I got it. I found it. Sorry. I think Tia and Megan spoke to me the most this weekend about self-care, about doing the mental work. I talked to Tammy a little bit about like where I was at, like where I'm at in my health journey, because I'm where I need to be in my health journey and what's next. And right now, the physical part is not as easy for me being tax season. And so I'm like, what's next? So my Tia and Megan hit home to me with using my dream chasing guide. I have been trying to plug into my dream chasing guide and asking myself all of the hard questions to grow me. And I don't know, that's kind of where I stuck. I have lots of different quotes, but they're all from a bunch of different people. But like learning to dream. That's a piece to me that I forgot about. Like I'm not a big dreamer. I can dream little dreams, but not big dreams. And so I'm really trying to force myself to dream the big dream and then step back and make the plan to get and accomplish that big dream by setting the little ones along the way. That was kind of those two were my big. Tia was the big one to me with truly just finding me again. That's where I was at, I guess, this week, or going into this week was I need to find me. So I don't know. That's what I got. Sorry.
All right. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. So what I wanted to say to you though is that you kind of came in just as a place of like rebuilding, right?
Totally.
And so really that kind of like sometimes you don't know where to start. And you're just like, I don't even know where to go from here. And I feel like coming this weekend, like obviously Awaken, whatever, but really you kind of came across saying like, listen, I've got to work on this so then everything else will start growing around me. But it's always like all of us always have to work on ourselves. Like nobody came in perfect. Nobody came in like, I'm this expert health coach. I know how to do this. Like none of us did. Mm-hmm. And so we all have to keep growing. We all have to dive into our personal development. So that way, when you start doing that, you'll get that belief inside yourself and you'll be able to dream bigger. And I know you will be able to.
And that you saying that made me just think of another thing that really struck home with me this weekend was like Alma, Charlie Rocket hit me hard, like super, super hard. And his statement about fix the roots and the tree will produce fruit again, or rock bottom only leaves you looking at the roots and not the fruit, like that just gut punched me. Being at that place where I'm at of the rebuilding, like you were talking, I'm at ground zero, like completely starting over. And so that really just, I have to start there and I have to make sure that my roots are planted deep and strong down where they need to be. And my tree will grow and my fruit will come once my roots are set. So that hit me hard to listen into him.
We are excited to see you grow, and you are surrounded by a lot of people that care for you and are there to support you while those roots get set. Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Okay, Dana, where are you at? You are next.
I'm here.
Your hair looks great.
Jason asked me if I wanted to come on today. I said no, and he said, why? I said, because I didn't shower. And he's like, this isn't about you. I'm like, oh, you're right. I put something in it. But anyway, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the 12-week year, but there's 3 quotes from 3 different people that just stuck out to me along. I mean, we all have our quotes, but these are, I don't know, resonated with me. And the first one is from Aristotle, and it's from this book. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And I was like, ooh, that's good. Eric Hunsberger said, you want luck, never quit. Okay. And then Meg Valentine, you write your story every day. And so each of those, you know, we could talk for hours on, but one of the things I was thinking about is coaches who are growing have created a habit of never quitting while continuing to grow and evolve, while sharing their story every day and never becoming comfortable, complacent, or trapped in mediocrity. And one of the things I know for all of you that were there, this is kind of overwhelming. But in this book, and I'll try to be brief, and it has this awesome graph, and it's called the emotional cycle of change. And what it talks about, I know it's really hard to see, but as we come into a business or a new goal, or we have an, you know, even weight loss, hold on, we're really, really excited, and we're optimistic, and we're just, you know, we want to make some money, we're going to make some changes. And so we're like, yes, I'm going to start coaching. This is amazing, which it is. But in the process, we get to a point, and this line here is optimism above, pessimism below. And phase 2 falls below, and it's called informed pessimism. So we're getting into it, we're taking different actions, and then all of a sudden we're bumping up against old habits and routines and our old way of thinking and behaving. And so all of a sudden it's like, oh, this isn't as really good as I thought it would be. And I love it. There's a short little video. I'll give you guys the website for this book, and you can download the action plan I'll talk about. It comes a point, it's called, what was that called? Hold on. The Valley. He's like, Brian says, it gets worse. Now we have the Valley of Despair. And it's like, oh my gosh. And so what happens in the Valley of Despair, you're high on the benefit, not literally, even though you can smoke it now in Illinois, but high on the benefits. I'm sorry. I don't, but maybe I should know. You're high on the benefits. You're blinded by the obstacles. And then we get to the bottom here, and it's like, whoa, there's got to be something else. This isn't for me. I don't know what I got into. And, you know, I can't do this anymore. And I think we've all come to that point in our life. And many of us on here, I think we've been here in different phases and different things. This happens. But what we can either do is continue up and bust through those obstacles, keep going without quitting. And then we arrive at phase 4. And I wrote on here, and that's informed optimism. We understand the benefits, we understand the obstacles, and eventually we arrive to success. But so often people get stuck, and it was interesting. I was talking to a coach at Dan's house, and I'm not going to say too much. There was another coach she was related to who was doing well. You see people in here. But what happened is she got to a point, and she said, this isn't for me. I'm going to try something new. And so the cycle continues. I'm going to go try another program. I'm going to go try another job. And we get stuck thinking there's something better. And that really stood out to me, because this is where I feel like I've busted through it. I feel like many of us have, but we lose people at this point.
Isn't this the same thing Corey was talking about with the triangle?
Oh, this is, yeah, I stole it from Corey. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Corey stole it from or used it from Brian. And so I think, again, what everyone's talking about is continuing to feed our mind and to understand. I remember when this was talked about at the event, Jeff, my husband, said, well, isn't that obvious? I'm like, it is, once it's explained that this happens, and then we can reflect on that. And so one of the things with the emotional cycle of change, he talks about, if you get this book, you can access documents. And he talked about one of the things, in order for change to happen, you must have a vision, your why, and you must have a plan. And I think sometimes, like Jason and I talked the other day, like, what do you want? How does that look? But we have to structure it. And with the 12-week year, it's more immediate. What do we do this week? What do we do this month? What do we do in the next 3 months? And so it's a process, and he has documents you can print out, and it makes you, it has you reflect. And really, I think if you want to grow this business really large, you have to treat it like a business. And there's some really intentional planning and vision and executing involved. So get the book is, yeah, back to structure is what Jeff said. So yeah, that was my big takeaway, that, you know, besides what everyone else has shared, it was just an amazing, amazing event.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana.
Thank
I
you.
think too, like the 12-week year is basically, for those who weren't there or didn't hear about it, it's like basically doing the work of a year in your 4 weeks or your 3 weeks. And so what it is just kind of like compartmentalizing everything and then breaking it down. And what I liked about it too is because as you grow your business, some people are new, right? And some people most people in the beginning are building their business off excitement. Like it's you're just excited, like it's easy, it's fun, you just put one post up and people are barging down your door to like sign up, and then you get going for a while. And that's not everybody. Some people don't have that start, but most of the people that, get really excited about it do have that start. And then all of a sudden you go from excitement to this place where, like, then you need the structure, then you need the vision. Sorry, I got kids out here. Then you need something that's going to drive your focus every single day and say, okay, this is my end goal. I know what I want, but I have to do these things every day. Hold on, I got to mute. Okay, sorry. They're supposed to be in somebody else's camper right now. Anyways, and so I think as you grow, and if you're a newer coach on here right now, getting that kind of structure doesn't always sound fun, but the fun part are the things that you figure out what you like in this, right? And you figure out where your energy is. And the structure can actually be fun, as if you do those things that you like to do within that structure and you make it fun, because that's a choice, right? You can dread it, or you can decide to make it something that you look forward to. So, all right. Who is next? Who's closing us out? Laura, you just got off the treadmill or the bike or whatever, and you're on, and you're supposed to be on. So everybody cheer Laura on.
Hi, I did. I just was at the Y on the elliptical and the bike and whatever. But anyways, so I'm super glad to be on training with you all. And I'm going to make this a habit. I'm going to make this a habit every time. So, thanks, Tammy. So anyways, so I've been a coach for like 2.5 years, and this was actually only my second event that I've been to. And I wasn't really sure like what to expect. And nothing against convention or anything, but I kind of was looking forward to actually going to Arizona and spending time with you all. And I was actually really surprised at how much I felt like I got poured into. Oh my gosh, why am I going to get emotional? But how much I got poured into and how much I felt like cared for. So I'm just going to do like quick Well, quick, right, Jason? So anyways, just kind of like a personal takeaway and then also like a business coaching side takeaway. So actually I believe it was the first session and it was Corey Baker, and he got up there and was talking about like being the hero of your own story. And I will say, like, this is something that, oh gosh, I'm gonna cry, but this is something I have a really hard time with, and something that I like really, really struggle with. Because I don't see myself as a hero and I don't see myself as like an inspiration, especially, I mean, you guys all know, like, the past couple months have been tough, like on my journey, and I haven't been killing it like I wish I was. And so anyway, so that's been really hard. So I really felt like when Corey got up there and it was the first session, I was like, whoa, okay, this is actually speaking to me. Like maybe I am actually going to get something out of this weekend. And so that would be my personal one, is just like working on that, and just figuring out how I can see myself as the hero of my own story. Yes, I've lost a lot of weight. Yes, but there's still so much that I am learning to like overcome, and lots of things I wrote down on my napkin that's literally attached to my mirror in my room. So that would be, thanks you guys for all the comments. That's distracting to me. So anyway, so that's my personal one. Figuring, yeah, just overcoming that mental side of weight loss, because it's a true thing with extreme weight loss, of learning how to see yourself differently. It's hard. So the coaching side of it, thing that I really, really, really loved is we all have the clients that are like, hold me accountable, hold me accountable, hold me accountable, hold me accountable. And then when you try to hold them accountable, they're not answering their phone. They're not answering your texts. They're not doing their side of it. So it's like, why am I doing my side if you're not going to do your side? So the whole thing about accountability is not consequences, it's ownership. I loved that. And then the whole statement about like switching the language and not saying like holding accountable, but holding people capable. I loved that, because accountability can be looked at as like a negative word. But if you're pouring into someone and just like making sure that they will like can see themselves capable, I think that's such a positive word, rather than like a negative word. So that's my huge thing. And I've already on a client call tonight, like switched up that language. And I just like it so much, of just like pouring into somebody and like letting them know that they are capable, rather than I'm holding you accountable, you know, like all that kind of stuff. So that was a big thing. And then also I think it was, I got my notebook. I think it's what Doug made a comment of just, I just love our program. I love how they put on amazing events. I literally truly felt like every single leader that was up there talking, like really genuinely like cared about us and wasn't just like so far removed from like my life. And so I just really loved when Doug said, like, he was like, our program is transformational and the side effect is weight loss. And I was like, yes. Oh, hey, I got the fingers. But I loved that, because yeah, like I've lost a lot of weight, but on the other side of it, it has transformed like my mind and my thinking and like my attitude, my mood, like so many different things. And the weight is awesome too, but all the other stuff and community and all these other things has like been transformational in my life. And so I loved that statement about that. So that's all I really got. I loved it.
Thank you, Laura. So I like Doug's comment on that we have a transformation program and sometimes the side effect is weight loss. Like that was one of my favorite quotes from the weekend. And actually I just used that yesterday. So it was like, that's really what we're coaching though, right? Like when we see people really plug in, like that's what we're hoping for them. We know they're going to lose weight. I mean, just do the 5-1 program. You're going to lose weight. But that's not why we coach. That's not why we bring people on. We want to see them transform their lives. And that's where obviously the program, offering coaching, offering everything that we have, is how it's going to transform people's lives. And Laura, I got to tell you though, like, I think everybody goes through that. I know I went through that where people go, oh, hey, Skitty. Oh, hey, you're looking good. And you just kind of make like an awkward laugh and like, ah, thanks, and try to walk away. Like, it's hard to hear because that internal belief isn't there. But when you speak that, you know, like it sounds cheesy, but when you have that little mantra and you walk up to the mirror every day and you go, I am healthy.
Literally.
I am
Okay, so like
transformational.
I have such a hard time when people are like, you're an inspiration. I literally want to like vomit because I am like, if you only knew all of my struggles, like it's so hard.
Being inspirational doesn't mean you don't have struggles. It means you push past them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
It's so true. It's so true.
Charlie
But it's
Rocket,
hard.
right? Aspirational versus inspirational. Aspirational is the person with the six-pack, dunking the basketball, looking all perfect. Inspirational is what people are looking for because aspirational isn't everybody. Inspirational is someone just like you and I that pushed past and made it happen. And that's what you're doing.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Okay. So does anybody else want to come on? I know we're going to go a little bit long, but who cares on this one because it's so worth it. If anybody else wants to do a quick takeaway, come on off. Oh, Kate's off mute.
Okay. You already know that I was going to talk. It's just I wanted to see how long things were going, and I wanted to hear what everybody else had to say. And so it was the best event that we have ever had, and I think because it was from the Valentine organization, and we are all the Valentine organization. We are love. So I just wanted to say a few quotes because some of these were the ones that hit me the most. And depending upon where you're at in your journey, it's going to either speak to you or not. One of them was, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Dang, y'all. The next one is, fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. Your past called, but had nothing new to say. Realize that you are becoming the person that your past was pushing you to be. And this isn't my practice life. It's my only life. Freaking rock star.
Those are all good enough. I don't even need to comment. Okay, quick round. Anybody else want to share? Otherwise, I'll kind of close out with a couple things I wanted that were on my mind.
I'll go
from the
really
weekend.
quick.
Okay,
I just
so
have
Crystal.
one. I don't have I mean, I have a ton, don't get me wrong, like, but a lot of people have said like a lot of the stuff that I love. So I'm trying to pick one. I think it was Corey's first talk, that one where he was kind of talking about this has to be fun. And I don't know about you guys, but I lost the fun for a while. I've been doing this for almost 5 years, and there is part of me that lost the fun. Like, share calls became a, do I have to, client calls were like torture, I kind of lost that fun. And I realized that this isn't about me, this is about them, and this is about other people. And if you don't learn to enjoy this journey, you will never get to your destination. And that was something that Corey said. And that one kind of really hit me. I said, I have to learn to love this again. And I think I really did this weekend. I think they hit a lot of, right. Okay, they're staring at me. I swear they were talking to me at a lot of parts, but that was a big one for me. I'm like, I have to have fun with this again. And it's a choice. It's not a chore, it's a choice. And this is the choice I'm making, is I want to have fun again with this. So that was kind of a big thing. And then the other thing is from Corey, that people quit because they don't want to be in a fight that they're losing. So I think that was really a huge thing, because that is totally me. Again, I swear he was looking at me when he said it. But it was one of those things that was like, I don't like to lose. And if I feel like I'm not having fun and I'm not winning and I'm not getting a ton of clients and all that, I feel like I'm losing. But that's not true. That's just where I'm at in my journey. And I just have to keep pushing through that and not quit. So that was it.
That's so good. That is so good. I remember, Corey, that's one I wrote down too. Like, yeah, if you just feel like you're losing, then why? Just quit. Throw in the towel, right? but that's where you just got to push through harder. All right, we'll take one more if anybody has it, or I will share my couple little quick tidbits.
It's easy.
Okay. It's easy.
Yeah. So honestly, like, I could pick a moment from every single portion, because there was something in, like, when everyone says, like, what's your favorite, who was your favorite speaker? And I'm like, do I have to pick? Because there was something, like, you know, eat the fish, spit out the bones. There was something that applied to me in every single aspect. But I'm going to choose to talk about the 12-week year. And honestly, like, I bought the book, I listened to the Audible. I'm about halfway through the Audible, but the Audible is so good that I had to go back and, like, open the book, because I really like to highlight and like to make tabs on different things, because that's just who I am. But essentially, with the 12-week year, as Dana was talking about, it all comes down to, like, executing. Like, we always say we want to do things. He talked about, there's people that say they're gonna, or you, to who you are and who you want to be, or who you're capable of being, or something like that. Okay, right? For real, it all falls down on your thinking. And I don't know about you, but I like to have the self-doubt, right? I like to help myself think, oh, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, even though, let's be real, like, I have those thoughts too, and I have to push through. But this is so amazing. Like I said, I'm halfway through the Audible, the hard copy, but there's one thing in here. It says, the results you achieve are a direct byproduct of the actions you take. Your actions, in turn, are manifestations of your underlying thinking. Ultimately, is your thinking that drives your results. It's your thinking that creates your experiences in life. So whereas, like, Charlie Rocket was saying, he lives by this idea of delusional optimism. You know, everything is great and everything's, you know, it's all in good things, and that he has that, it's just going to be easy. I'm going to write it down, that I'm going to find this, and this is exactly what I'm looking for, and he finds it. So if we just change that mindset, and a lot of this 12-week year stuff can, like, really relates to the map on, let's be real, like the map that we fill out for our business. You know, you set your vision, your why, you plan it out, you have your process control, you're going to, you know, have your tools that are going to help you succeed. You're going to keep score, because that's why we like to, I mean, that's why we're competitive people, right? We watch, that's why sports are fun, because we keep score. It'd be boring if we didn't. So just like life and building a business and going after it, you have to keep score in things that you do. And then your time. So highly, 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 highly recommend this. Actually, I started talking to this with my non-coaching friends too. I'm like, hey, you should really check this book out, because wow. So it's $10.49 on Amazon, you guys, or an Audible credit. I suggest both.
Totally worth it. I have it. I haven't read it yet. I only started reading it, but I can't wait to dive in, because I'm someone, I got to finish the book that I'm reading. Otherwise I never will. So once I finish that, that's my next book. But yeah, I love the breakdown. I love actually going at the end of 3 weeks and going, okay, did that work? Do we need to shift anything? Are we on the right track? And just having something, otherwise, because you kind of just, like, do things, right? Like, you just do things, busy work, and it's just not moving you forward. You're just kind of spinning your wheels. So it was perfect. All right. So Charlie Rocket, it wasn't necessarily just a quote or anything like that, but it was just kind of, he shared his whole story. And the first time I saw him was on one of the Monday night calls, and Dan had him come on, and I wasn't really sure. I was just kind of like, I don't know about that guy. You know, it was a little bit too much for me at that time. It's like, oh, it's kind of cool, but, you know, and then, like, I heard his whole story. And the thing I got out of his whole story was perseverance and the mindset. And the mindset of, it's easy. We're going to figure this out. And so I really loved that part of it when he was sharing that, because, you know, I was just like, man, if this guy can figure this out, we can figure this out. There's zero reason we can't figure this out. So then yesterday we went to Dan and Meg's house and spent like an hour just kind of chatting with them. And obviously we talked about just life and stuff, but we talked a little bit about business. And so Dan asked me a question, and he's like, well, what energizes you in your business? So, like, what task do you do where you get off and you're like, oh man, I feel amazing. And so I kind of broke down what those were, and I realized it was when I get to help pour into people. Like that's what brings the most energy to me, is, you know, when we get off like a coaching call or a client call and I'm like, oh man, you know, there's one little thing that that person really got and they were like really excited and ready to move on. And I was like, okay. It's like, well, then how can you start creating that every day? And what I realized was it was my energy. Like if I'm not coming in energized, those people are going to feel it. If I'm coming in beat down or, oh, I got to do this call. You know, Crystal said she doesn't get excited about share calls. When I get a share call, I'm like, winning streak, we got a share call. Like that's like, that energizes me because I know I'm having an opportunity to share and change somebody's life. And so then again, yesterday I was listening to a podcast, and one thing that the guy said was, your thoughts drive your feelings drive your action. And so when we're feeling down, we're feeling beat up, we're feeling in that valley of despair, like Dana was talking about, there's not much action being driven. Like you're not really like, woohoo, coaching, can't wait to call this client. You know, you're just like kind of in that valley of despair and just like, oh, I got to do this. Instead of coming at it and finding the energy and making it fun. Like I had a couple of calls yesterday and I'm like, oh, I got off those calls. I'm like, man, I rocked that. That was awesome because I came in with the energy that I was going to rock it. Like I didn't come in with the energy like, oh, I don't know if they're going to want to sign up. I had a coach explore. I don't know if they're going to want to do this. I came in like, man, they're going to want to do this. Why wouldn't they want to do this? And I realized like that's something that like Dan or Tiffany or somebody, I think they just know how great this is. And they don't let all the other stuff bother them. They don't let people quitting bother them. They say, oh, well, that's too bad for them. Let's move on to the next person that we can help. And when you shift your energy and you show up with that energy, people are going to feel that. It doesn't matter like what you say. You know, for me, I'm very like my brain very goes much to like, what's the perfect thing I could say? What's the script? Like that's where my brain just naturally goes. If I show up with the right energy, nobody cares what I say. I could say, oh, I eat a bunch of brownies every day. But if I'm excited about it, people are going to be like, oh, this sounds awesome. I won't say eat the Parmesan puffs every day. But, you know, like you come in with that type of energy, people are going to feel it. And that's what people are looking for. And so you can even do that with your conversations. You can do that with any aspect of this business, and you don't need any skill set. You don't need any special training. You don't need to have been any like marketing person. You don't need to have been a pastor. You don't need to have giant contacts. You can come in with positive energy and let the gift of coaching and program flow out of you, and people are just going to feel it. And that's what I think Charlie Rocket brought. Like he just has that energy. And you know, he said his friend's mom was dying of cancer, had stage 4 cancer, and he's like, how many times has she beat this? 17. He's like, man, she's 17-0. She's gonna go 18-0. Like that's the energy you have to bring to this every single day. So that was my takeaway. A combination weekend was all kinds of things, which everybody talked about, a lot of stuff that really resonated with me, but like just the last couple of days put together really just made a shift for me in mindset. And even tonight I left and I went to start doing a little work, and I was a little tired from the day, and then I was like, okay, let's check my energy, let's get into this. And I had a bunch of really good conversations on Facebook Messenger, and I felt great about it when I was done, and it brought me energy. And then I hopped in this call. So there you go. All right, everybody, thanks for sharing. I know this went long, but I think it's totally worth the time that we all put into it. Thanks everyone that came on to share their experiences, and we'll get this recording out right away. We'll talk to you guys later.